and welcome to the What We've Watched podcast. My name is Chris.
This is Emmett.
And this is our MCU tier list.
Yeah, we're doing, it's like a special, I guess you'd say. It's a non-numbered episode. It's basically What We've Watched podcast, as usual, but a little bit of a different thing, yeah. It's,
so...
we talked about it before, but...
So way back in the day, we did a... top 5 MCU movies. This was like, I think at the end of phase...
It was the end of the Infinity Saga. It was after...
That's right.
Spider-Man Homecoming. Or no, Far From Home.
That's right.
Yeah.
And a lot of movies and a lot of TV shows have come out since then. There probably more since then than there was at the time. I think it's like more than doubled.
Because the early phases weren't as packed.
Yeah. That's for sure. We were thinking about like what should we do with this, and doing just another top 5. It's so much. It seems kind of weird.
Yeah, I felt because also the weird thing that I was sort of the thing that I was kind of struggling with the whole time was like where do you cut off, because it's like, okay, the logical thing would be like, well, we did a top 5 at the end of the Infinity Saga, so it would be like, okay, you do top 5 at the end of like the current one, which I guess is the Multiversal Saga.
Yeah.
But like that's still years away from being finished.
Right.
And so it's like, well, we could wait even longer, or it was like, well, we could break it down by like phase or like a couple of phases at a time or something, which is again kind of a weird, like arbitrary way to do it. And like I was just trying to think like how could we do this to make it kind of make sense and work. And since we were doing the tier thing for the cartoons, the 80s cartoons.
Yeah, for Saturday Morning Nostalgia.
Yeah, I was like, hey, that could maybe work for MCU movies and shows, because it would allow us to kind of quickly just, drop them in. And also, most importantly, unlike a conventional top 5, you wouldn't have to worry about having like a specific cutoff, because you can always just add to it.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about having like an exact perfect ranking, because you can always move them and change them, right? Like you can, if like as you're doing the tier list, if another movie comes in higher than one before, you just drop it in higher. Like you don't have to. You can move things around dynamically, so you don't have to worry about that whole so is this going to be my number 4 and this is going to be my 3?
Exactly.
Or is it, you don't really have to worry about that, because you can just be like, well, at the moment, I'm going to put this here, but, it can dynamically change without having to restructure the entire thing. So it seemed like an easy way to do it. It seemed like a fun way to just kind of breeze through them all, give our, like, absolutely quickest possible thoughts on, why we put them in a given area. And, basically, it's sort of future-proofs it, because we can always just add to it every so often, as whether it's, I guess probably maybe like once a year would make sense, or, usually there's enough out, in a year to add.
Yeah, between TV shows and movies. Yeah,
whatever. Anyways, we'll worry about that in the future, but this way at least we know we're set, we're it's future-proofed, right?
Yeah.
So,
So the format it's going to take is we each have our own tier list here, as you can see if you're watching the video version of this.
Yep.
And we're just going to drag and drop, and we're going to do this by phase.
Yeah.
And we're going to kind of throw in a little break between phases. This will probably come out multi-part in video, depending on how long it runs.
Yeah.
If it goes smooth, this might just be a big single part.
Yeah. Or maybe it'd be like a few of them at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever,
yeah.
Not necessarily the entire thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So we are starting with phase 1.
And I see here.
Yeah.
Because this is the first time I've seen the actual layout. So we're skipping E and we're just having F as the bottom.
F as the bottom. Yeah.
Which I mean is fine. I'm fine with that.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't know if we even need the F. Because, like, are there any Marvel things that are, like, unwatchable garbage?
Yes.
I mean, okay, I know where you're going with that. I know exactly where you're going with that, and I agree with you.
Okay.
it just weird to seem to have a category for a single entry.
Well, but so far.
Fair enough.
God willing.
You're right.
Just the one.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know that. There might be other ones that you consider an F.
It's true. Yeah.
I don't make any assumptions.
The other main reason I got rid of the E category was just for space on the screen.
Yeah. And I think it just makes clarity, too, because it's like consistently S is the top, F is the bottom, and then you have whatever in the middle as many as you need.
Yeah.
You know, so... Because I know we do have E on the cartoon one.
Yeah.
And I was sort of treating that as the bottom.
Yeah.
But I do think it's more intuitive to just have F
just
as the
have
bottom.
straight up a failure. This is a fail.
Yeah, this is a fail. Yeah. And D is like, not great, but...
I mean, it's
you know, I can still watch it without hating myself.
Sure.
Kind of thing, you know. And then C is like, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know?
D is the, falls into, the least favorite of the kind of category.
Yeah, no, I think it works fine. I'm good with it.
Yeah, and we're going to do this in, not just in phases, but also in the chronological release order.
Yeah, like the actual release order. Yeah.
So,
it's the most, natural way to do it, I think.
Makes sense.
Just it should be the way you watch it.
Yeah.
And if you've never seen them before. And in my head, that's like the simplest.
Exactly.
That's how it works because that's how I experience them. Because needless to say, I mean, all of these.
Well, I've seen every one of these in the theater
as they came out. Yeah. So.
Marvel has taken a lot of theatrical money from it.
Oh well, you know. So it's your fault that they keep making them. Okay.
And me and people like me for sure.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So. Starting all the way back in 2008, we have Iron Man.
Yes, Iron Man 1.
Iron Man 1, at the time...
I always call it Iron Man 1.
Yeah, sure.
But you could just call it Iron Man. I just feel like that's too...
Never had seen anything like this.
Yeah.
It's in the... For me, anyway, seemed like one of the Marvel movies I've seen the most.
Yeah.
Like, gone back and rewatched the most.
Right. Well, sort of makes sense.
Yeah. A lot of it is like, does Iron Man still hold up? For me... Iron Man still holds up. Yep. So I'm putting Iron Man in the A.
Okay.
It's a fantastic movie. Not quite S tier because, they're still working some of the stuff out.
Yep.
But they nail the character. It looks great. It's a fun movie. That's where it's sitting for me.
Yeah.
How about you?
For me, pretty much exactly what you said.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Like, there had been a few movies, comic book movies before and Marvel movies. Or, not MCU, but obviously, the pre-MCU Marvel stuff that, Fox and various other things made. But Iron Man really felt like a shift. It really felt like something new and, very...
It was so fresh.
Like a very promising, oh, wow, this is, a whole new era of comic movies. And yeah, I agree. I'm going A for the same reasons exactly. And I feel like it's the first movie... They pretty much nailed it, but there's always that room to move forward, and it's you could sort of get into some nitpicky stuff or whatever, but which obviously we're not going to do. But you want to have a little bit of room to breathe there.
Yeah.
So I'm putting it A. It'll probably stay pretty near the top of the A's for me, I think. We'll see, but. Yeah, I'm putting it A just because, there is a little bit of room to grow. It is the first movie, but they pretty much nailed it. I mean, especially for the time. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next up, just a little over a month later.
I know, it's wild, eh?
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
We got the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
So this was the second Hulk movie we had had in a couple of years.
But this was years after.
5 years. This is the MCU one.
Yeah.
The Edward Norton. The first and only time.
A lot of sort of confusion amongst viewers and not quite understanding exactly what was happening with it.
Yeah.
Because it just felt a little bit.
Yeah.
It did, because it also didn't really, that interconnectedness wasn't quite firmly in place yet, so it was that whole wait, so is this in the same?
Hey, don't get too attached. We're going to get a different guy playing the Hulk.
No doubt. Yeah. All right. So what do you think?
For me, Incredible Hulk is, I really like this movie.
Yeah.
It's another one that I've watched quite a few times.
Yeah.
It definitely, though, with repeated watchings, some of the sort of the flaws of it become, and also I post what's his name playing?
Mark Ruffalo.
Post Mark Ruffalo playing Banner.
Yeah.
Like,
it's kind of weird to go back to.
Yeah. And I think...
I don't mean to put words in your mouth.
No. It's absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Norton did a pretty good job. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna put this one at a B for me.
Okay.
I think previously it was on my top 5 as one of my top 5s.
Could be.
But it's sort of, I think...
Yeah, I have a different perspective now.
There's a lot I really like about it.
Yeah.
It just has some things that, again, fall into the, like, they were still working on it.
Yeah.
And the problem is it set up a bunch of stuff that... not so much set up, but they had a bunch of ideas there that, of course, because of some changes they made, they just never went forward with.
But also, I think part of it, too, was that it was so early on.
Yes.
I think they really didn't know what they were doing
Yeah.
or what the plan was, really, at the time.
The funny thing is it actually still works really good as a standalone film.
Yeah. I mean, it basically is. I mean, the only thing that really hints
I'm going to say, honestly, that whole Phase 1, outside of obviously the Avengers, works really good as just standalone.
The only thing that really hints towards anything else is like the post-credit with like Tony coming in and talking to the general, right?
I mean, the post-credit stuff was almost the only thing that linked almost any of these movies, other than like Captain America's shield popping up in Iron Man.
Which was really just a joke anyway.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel like this one, I think, is a bit underrated because... It sort of tends to either get a lot of hate or just get a lot of like meh. Like people just really don't rate this one that much. Mm-hmm. And I think it's really strong and solid, especially considering at the time, they just didn't really know what they were getting into. And
they nailed the look of the Hulk so good.
Yeah. Well, for one thing, he doesn't continuously get bigger and bigger until he's like the size of a house. Which is like, what was that about?
He doesn't King Kong.
Yeah. So, that being said, I pretty much agree. B as well for me because it's not one of the best, but I think it's underrated by most people when they rank them, and I think it's actually like a really solid, a solid flick, as Kevin Smith would say.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's just it does feel a little weird. It feels a little out of place with the rest of the MCU because of the recasting and it was so early and stuff. But it's good. I like it. So.
Yeah. All right. So 2 years later, almost to the dot, we got Iron Man 2.
Yeah, which is wild. Yeah. That it took 2 years for the next movie, and it was just the sequel to the Iron Man. Yeah. It wasn't even like another. Yeah.
Well, Iron Man blew up so huge. Right?
Another entry in the overall world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, this is a movie where I've gone back and forth a lot on. Yeah. And there's some things I do like about it, but I overall think the story's pretty weak. Mm-hmm. The villains are kind of weak. Mm-hmm. It's very like it's such a fall from Iron Man 1. Mm-hmm. And if you don't think like, wow, it took 2 years to go from from that one to the next, you think like it wouldn't. It feels very rushed in some ways, which I mean, I guess considering how much work it does take to make these movies, maybe I guess you could consider that rushed. Only having 2 years to do it, but it just doesn't hit for me, and I'm throwing that on C. It's not terrible, but it's a movie where I kind of like exactly half of it.
Okay.
And then the other half I'm just kind of like, it's fine, I guess.
Okay.
Again, it's kind of the start of immediately the start of Marvel's villain problem. I mean, Hulk.
They've always had
Hulk had an amazing villain, and it was just Tim Roth. Being Tim Roth,
So for me, this is another one kind of like Hulk that often gets really either trashed or just like not really considered.
Yeah, I don't think it deserves being trashed.
And I think, I think it's definitely a lot better than people give credit for. I think it's very watchable. I think it suffers a lot from basically being Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
The fact that people were directly comparing it to the first one, which, fair enough. I mean, that's the main thing you would compare it to would be, its predecessor. Mm-hmm. And in that sense, it's definitely a big step down. But, man, it gets so much hate that I think is really over the top.
I can agree with that. I think it does.
That being said, I agree with everything you said. Mm-hmm. It's C for me as well.
Okay.
But I just want to
making a mirror list here.
Well, so far I think it's probably about to change pretty soon. But that being said, like to me that's perfectly acceptable. Like it's okay, it's decent, I like it. It's just not as good as the other ones, and it's not nearly as good as the first one, which is unfortunate. But diminishing returns as you go on is not an uncommon thing. And I think it's still watchable. I think it's still got some good stuff. We got our introduction of Black Widow there, which is hugely significant for the series as a whole. Maybe not necessarily the best depiction of her or the best version of her, but they had to start somewhere. And I think it makes for a cool little the surprise of it, like the way they set it up is kind of a twist where they introduce her as this other character. Yeah. And the fact that she's like undercover, like with even like Tony not knowing who she is, and then it's revealed, which obviously like for us as an audience familiar with the material and savvy about, who people were playing and whatnot, it wasn't really like a surprise for us. But, I could see someone who doesn't know about any of that going in and being like, oh, like that's, that's interesting. And then they're like, whoa, what? Hold on.
Yeah,
like, she's a superhero too? So yeah, I thought it was all right. But yeah, see. All right, next.
Next up we have Thor.
Thor, yeah. So this is a big change.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, going from the first
it's a fantasy movie.
Yeah, it's a big swing to go to like, other planets and magic and gods / aliens. Perhaps,
yeah, exactly.
It's a big swing in many ways. No pun intended. Hammer.
Some great teaser stuff with the hammer and all that, leading up to it.
Yeah.
I love the Thor movie.
Yeah.
I think they nailed it so well right off the bat, establishing Thor and Loki and all the Asgardians, the whole pantheon there, the world of Asgard. They had such a clear vision of what they wanted to do with that, and it carried forward consistently throughout the rest of the MCU.
Yeah.
I'm reserving the right to change this later.
Okay.
I'm putting it in S.
Whoa.
Okay. Again, I love the Thor movie.
Okay.
It is so much fun. Chris just completely lands.
Well, I do
role.
love the fact that we basically got kind of like a Christopher Reeve Superman type of situation where like they didn't worry about like, oh, we need like a star here. It was like, no, let's find the right person for the job.
Yeah.
And it was like, nobody knew who Chris Hemsworth was.
Yeah, exactly.
Certainly not here.
in
North America at the time. I mean, I think he'd done like Australian TV and stuff. So yeah, just finding the right person for the part, focusing on that rather than worrying about like, oh, we have to have a name here or whatever, was obviously very cool. Okay, well, this is our first big divergence. Yeah. I find that there's often a big divergence between people who dig like the whole fantasy aesthetic and sort of that genre, and even the more kind of like the sort of like cosplay, more kind of general geek culture kind of stuff, and people who aren't really into that. There's definitely a disconnect there where you tend to fall. So for me, I enjoy Thor. I like it, but like it's not really my thing. And for me, I'm gonna put it B. Okay. After Hulk.
After Hulk.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just slightly under Hulk.
So we're doing closest to the
next one.
Next one,
close. Yeah, higher.
So the closer are to the colored letter bar, the higher it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I put Thor right after Hulk. I enjoy Hulk more, but Thor has some good elements. Like it has some really cool stuff in it. It's just I'm not really into the overall. Like it's a little too like. Yeah, it's just a little too like Ren Fair cosplay kind of for my taste. It's just not really my thing. But it's got some cool stuff.
Great side cast.
I think that casting is really great. I think that's probably its biggest strength is like the casting. The fact that we have a mix of established like you have your sort of Anthony Hopkins, Rene Russo as like the parents, and then you have like, you know, Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston as Thor and Loki, and it's like kind of really our introduction to them. Yeah, and they're both just perfect, and would obviously go on to do so much more. Yeah. With these roles,
and even down to like, you know,
become
like,
iconic in their own right.
Natalie Portman and Skarsgård.
I mean, there's lots of really well-known people, but it's just not really my thing. There is some really cool stuff in it, and I think it's more it's more of like a setup movie for me. Because I feel like Loki is not the greatest villain in this one, but like he goes on to become like his the way he's developed.
And I think
it's so great.
This Thor, like Thor is really the start of where like some quantity of this film will not pay off till later. Yeah. Like, this is the start of, like, no, this is something bigger, this is something more, other than just, you know, the little after-credit scenes and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. So, next up is...
Next up is Captain America, the First Avenger.
Yeah, the First Avenger.
I think this is the only Marvel movie that I saw twice in the theater.
Okay.
Really liked it. I thought, I mean, again, amazing casting... work all around. Yeah. I really liked all the period piece stuff at, you know, the beginning. It's so, because I mean it's his origin story and stuff, but they didn't just like jump cut to, you know, like, no, like this whole movie takes place in World War II when he was just becoming Captain America.
It's Captain America Begins.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Really like this movie. This one's an A for me, and I'm actually going to put it on the other side of Iron Man here. I think I like it a little bit more than Iron Man.
Okay.
Yeah. How about you there?
I pretty much agree with what you said. I think Captain America First Avenger is really, really good. I think it's aged really well. I think it's like one of those ones that almost kind of gets better. Yeah. Every time you see it. And because there's just so many little finely crafted things, so many little moments and cool little performances. I think it's really well constructed. The thing is that, again, you know, I made the joke about it's like Captain America Begins. Yeah. I feel like there's a disconnect where like some people enjoy that type of like, oh, like most of the movie is the origin, but like if you make the origin interesting and cool, you can pull that off. If it's like if most of the movie is the origin and it's just like, oh, you're just waiting to get to the real thing, and you're like, oh my god, this origin is going on forever.
Because it's a different kind of origin. That's a problem. Only part of his origin is him getting like the super serum. Yeah. The rest of it is his origin is up to the point where he falls on the ice. Like that is also so much of his origin. Yeah.
Yeah, in a sense. Yeah. And so like for me, I love that type of like, you know, take most of the movie to do the origin if it's done well. Yeah. Very important point.
Of course, always.
So for me, I love this one. I am going to do the same thing. Put it NA above Iron Man 1. It's close. Yeah. They're both really good at what they do. Yeah. They're both really good introductions for their main character. But I just think the First Avenger is just a slightly stronger. First Avenger feels like they took the lessons that they learned from making Iron Man and applied them to push it to even the next level. Yeah. Like, it feels like it did exactly the kind of thing that Iron Man did, but just, like, the next build on top of that, right? Yeah. It's A above Iron Man for me. It's a great one. It's really, really good. I think, not to bury the lead, but I feel like in terms of individual like sub-series, like, you know, the trilogies and things like that are part of the overall, I feel like Captain America's probably fared the best
for sure
of any of the individual sub-series, because I mean
there's no bad Captain America movie.
The Captain America movies are consistently good. We'll obviously get more into that, but anyways,
all right, finally the culmination of phase 1.
Yes,
the Avengers. Actually, I lied. I did see the Avengers twice in the theater.
Okay. I thought you did.
Mostly because, like, I just, after seeing it, I really wanted to just go see it again, and I didn't want to wait.
That's usually how most people end up seeing things.
But it was like 2012, so it wasn't like a time where you just like, well, I'll just wait 6 months and it'll be on date.
Right.
Like, no, it was going to be...
Or even less in many cases
also,
nowadays.
it was the first... I think it's probably been one of the few times where I've been to a... it was one of the first times where I've been to a theater where there was so much... like the theater was really into it, and so you had like cheering from the crowd and stuff like that, you know, and so that was great. I for a long time the Avengers, just because it was a culmination of a great set of movies, was like
and just like kind of a dream of like
seeing an Avengers
a childhood
film.
Dream almost, you know,
exactly.
Like,
so
like seeing all that stuff together.
It did rank so high for a long time. I believe it was my number one on my old.
Oh, I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was on mine too.
Yeah. And,
actually, no, it wasn't.
You know, I know it wasn't.
I know it wasn't. I know why. But, anyways. But it would have been two at least. It would have been two.
Yeah. I love it. In some ways, I think it is possibly, and just because it is a movie that is so much reliant on all the other films.
Yeah.
It is a movie that is like so much of it is just action.
Yeah.
It has maybe not necessarily. It hasn't hit quite as hard.
Yeah.
In recently, but I still love it a lot.
Yeah.
It still ranks super high for me.
Okay.
I'm putting it top of the A for Avengers.
Okay.
Right at the front there. Not quite S. Just if there was an A.5, that's where it would be. Okay. But it's just not quite. It's so close, but
Yeah.
It's
just over time you've just kind of started to.
Yeah. And honestly, maybe I've just watched it too many times. That might actually be the other problem too. Like because it's probably my most watched Marvel movie by far.
Yeah.
But yeah. So where are you dropping? The Avengers?
Okay, so I mean, yeah, obviously, there's not much I need to add to that. It was obviously very important historically and stuff at the time. I think probably I will go. Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you said. I do also feel like it has not. It sort of ages not the best as time goes on. Which is not to say that it's gotten bad or that it's aged. Like, I wouldn't say it's aged poorly in the sense that people often use that term of like, that's aged poorly. Yeah. Like, no, it's still a great movie.
It's not like racist or anything.
No, it's still a great movie. It's just, I don't think that it's held up as good just from just natural, like, because you just notice more, or you're just less excited about certain things. Or Also, I feel like the more that I see it, especially like in more recent times as time has gone on, I notice like more of that kind of like, that sort of Joss Whedon like weirdness that like that we're all kind of looking back on and being like, oh yeah, there were kind of signs of like some of like his weird kind of attitudes about certain things. And, and
there's definitely some decisions made that are questionable for sure.
And it's like there were definitely some early signs of that there that were definitely not as like egregious as in some later works, but definitely are more noticeable now as time's going on. I'm gonna go A, but put it at the back. Like
at the
behind
back. Oh, okay.
Captain America and Iron Man. Yeah.
Okay, so
because it is still. I mean, it's impressive. I mean, it's the Avengers. It's great. Yeah.
Okay, so that wraps up our Phase 1 tier list.
Only 6 movies.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I think we only got 6 in the next.
Yeah, they really took their time to get ramped up.
And it only starts getting really hairy once we start throwing in because of the TV stuff. Really bloats the later phases.
Yeah, but I mean, even like I think 3 is already starting to expand a bit.
For sure.
Anyways, cool.
All right, so we'll be back after a short break and with Phase 2.